All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here talking about real music in, you guessed it, real time for real people just like you and just like me. So, the Foo Fighters, what is a Foo, by the way? I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know. I know some people know this, but what is a Foo Fighter? Anyway, not a big fan of the Foo Fighters. I did live through the 90s, and I will say this. I'm coming around to the 90s in one respect, is that they used to play their music for real. They had real instruments. They played them most of the time really poorly. They wrote pretty bad songs for the most part, through a few exceptions to that. But I will say this, that it was authentic, it was real. And so on that level, the 90s kind of succeed in not being the year 2021. So good on the 90s, but certainly the style of music paved the way for the constant doom, gloom, and thumping music we get over on mainstream rock. And it certainly influenced all the other formats eventually. But I digress. I want to talk about the Foo Fighters because they're requiring proof that you did the thing. Either that or they want some kind of medical test, right? I remember I was a little ticked off of it as a kid because one day, the warden shows up and he's like, "Hey, do you have a fishing license?" I'm like, "A fishing license? I'm just dropping a fishing line in the ocean, and I'm thinking I should be able to fish and I shouldn't have to pay for that. I don't need a license." But when you think about it, right? Okay, it's a way to make money. It's a way to make money, and then you're official. Now, I draw some similarities here, even though the issue is far more serious, supposedly, right? Where people, if they get the thing, they're protected and safe, and they're gonna be able to do whatever they want to, even though they continue to cancel concerts because somebody gets the thing. They contract the other thing, right? I'm hearing this all over the place. Well, out of safety, okay, well, you're already requiring that everybody do the thing, get the thing in order to go to your show, but yet you're going to cancel it anyway. At that point, it's like, what? Then why even do this? Look, I'm getting to the point where, like I said the other day, I don't need to go to rock concerts. It's not important to me. Now, for some people who have to go to their job, it's important. And it's life-changing if they're going to force you to do something. And here's one thing I want to put out. You don't have informed consent right now. And how do I know you don't have informed consent? Well, some of you do. Let me put it that way. But the people who are running out to do the thing, right? They don't have informed consent. Because if they did, there's no way they'd want to go do the thing. Let me say that one more time because it's that important. The people who are running out to do this thing, if they had all the information, there is no way they'd want to go through with doing it. There's no way. There's incredible amounts of data out there that are frightening, okay? There was a number back in the 1970s where we did this thing, and there were 26 people, right? I'm going to be very vague here. There are rumors that there are now thousands of people, and yet we continue to do the thing. And I'm wondering what number it is where we say, well, you can't keep doing this thing. We can't keep mandating that people do this thing because the thing ain't safe. It's dangerous, right? Or it's risky, or there's a chance that something might not go correctly. Ask Eric Clapton about that one. And he gets skewered and destroyed for telling people that, hey, I couldn't, my hands were kind of messed up and wasn't sure I was going to be able to play guitar. And I think people need to know a little bit more information before they go out and do the thing. But if you want to go see the Foo Fighters that badly, right, and they're just so important to you, which they're not to me, there's pretty much no rock band right now that's so important to me with the information that I'm aware of that I would go risk it and say, Like, I'm going to get invitations. There are things coming up. I know I'm going to get invited to things. I'm going to say, probably can't go. Tell me what the requirements are going to be. If you're going to require that I do the thing, then guess what? Enjoy the show. I'd love to see you guys, love to hang out, go backstage, get some pictures done, you know, all that fun stuff. It's not that important to me. It is sad that it's not important to me, but the reason it's not is because there are other bigger life or death issues right now. And recreation, or, you know, this sort of distraction of going to a concert should be a nice escape, but rather than be an escape, it's a nerve-wracking, zombie-inducing experience for me, because I look at all these people and I look how they're all just walking in lockstep. And to me, that is spooky stuff. And it makes me very like hesitant to be around all of those people, because number one, I don't think like that. And number two, it feels like some kind of a psyop that's going on, and I'm in a bad horror movie. And yesterday I'm like, can I just get out of this movie? Can I just get out? I mean, can we stop the movie? Can we just do something? And I don't know if anyone understands that. I feel like I'm all alone sometimes. I feel like, gee, you're the only guy in the store who isn't wearing the thing. There's no sign on the door, but you know, you turn on the news this morning, it's like every 20 seconds. You need to do all the things we were doing before because they all worked so well last year, right? So we need to double down and do it more because we're not doing it enough. We let our guard down. And now what are we going to do? These people are just not going to comply. And that's correct. There is a portion of the population that will not comply for whatever reason. They're just not going to do it. You're born to breathe. You're born to be a free person. You weren't born to be a slave. And, you know, the Foo Fighters and all these other bands that are doing this stuff, I do think it's certainly going to hurt the concert industry, not only in the short term, but in the long term, because people will remember this stuff. If this someday goes away, which I'm not sure it will, but if it someday goes away, people are going to remember the kind of behavior, the kind of panic, the kind of fear. The fear is almost more deadly than the thing. To me, it seems like it is, because it's changing how people interact with each other. It's changing business. It's destroying the supply chain. If you haven't noticed, if you haven't been out doing shopping, I can't find stuff that I used to find. Can't find it. And you ask them, they go, oh, it's on back order. It's probably not coming back for a while. You know, my son's supposed to work at Taco Bell. This is a true story. They canceled his shift because they didn't have product at Taco Bell. They couldn't get the stuff. Now, why is that? So I think we do have bigger issues than worrying about whether or not you did the thing so you can go to the Foo Fighters concert. Personally, you know, it's got to be a little higher up the chain for me to really care about, you know, a concert as far as a band. I mean, again, you could present me with my favorite band of all time and say, okay, they're going to be here, but you got to do all of these things in order to go. I'm going to say, I'd love to go, but sorry, I'm not going. And I guess some people aren't of that mind. That, and I will say this, right? You have the right to do something where you don't have informed consent. You have the right to do that, but you can't make a good decision. But you have the right to do something that's not good for yourself. Like people who smoke stuff or inject stuff or do, you know, extracurricular party activities, as Steve Perry likes to say. They have the right to do that. Doesn't mean it's good for them, but they have the right. And you have the right, if you want to take the risk and do the things that they're telling you to do, just so you can go see the Foo Fighters play a concert, by all means. I'm not going to stop you. I just think it's crazy that people aren't prioritizing what's important. That's all. And it's so weird because you don't have, I'm going to say it one more time and then I'm going to leave, at least this video. You don't have to, if you had informed consent, there's no way that you'd want to do what they're telling you to do. All right, that's my video. Thanks for watching. If you like the channel, please subscribe, and Patreon, folks, for just $1 a month, maybe $2 a month. We've had a lot of new Patreons come on board the last couple of weeks after we had a bit of a departure. We've had a few folks come back. So I really appreciate that. New people with, a great attitude and like-minded stuff, which I really enjoy. Anyway, see you soon.